if these allegations are true, if Mike Perry really did these apprehensible, horrific, unforgivable things to Danielle Nickerson, what action should the UFC take? What up, Fightful fam, and welcome to your Fightful Fix Tuesday, October 20th edition. We're going to spend today's episode talking about the recent allegations against Mike Perry by his ex-wife, Danielle Nickerson. Now, before we get started, if you could please hit like, tap subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That goes such a long way to helping our channel grow, and we really do appreciate it. MMA junkie Simon Simano interviewed Danielle Nickerson, known to UFC fans as Platinum Princess, Mike Perry's ex-wife, about allegations of domestic abuse, physical assault that Nickerson levied against Mike Perry. Now, this isn't just unsubstantiated reporting. Simon did a lot of really good reporting, as a matter of fact. There's 911 calls in there. They reference court documents. Apparently, Nickerson shared photos of her injuries with MMA Junkie, who verified them, but she asked that the photos not be released out of fear of being shamed. So what are the allegations? Now, Nickerson does state that she has been physically abused on more than one occasion by Perry, but the focus of the interview and the story pertains to an incident that allegedly occurred in the early hours of February 10th. Mike Perry and Danielle Nickerson allegedly arrived home from an evening out in which Perry was very, very, very angry. At some point, he stormed at Nickerson, who fled into another room, and I'm just going to read some of the quotes here. Quote, "He ran straight at me like a football player, like to tackle me. Sprinted across the house. Where we were standing was on tile, and I really didn't want to get tackled into tile, so I ran into the carpet living room. I got there, and I was trying to put distance between us, put anything between us to give some space to try and talk to him, to try and calm him down. He was playing cat and mouse with me." Nickerson goes on to explain that Perry allegedly grounded her and proceeded to, quote, ground and pound her. She says that she suffered a hematoma to the head, bruises all around her body, cracked her rib. She also said, quote, "It was like a movie. You're like, this isn't my life. What is happening right now? I thought if I don't leave and run out of this house, I will die." So Nickerson allegedly fled at some point and started hiding in the streets near the neighbor's house. Mike Perry eventually returns to his home. Nickerson allegedly enters a neighbor's house, asks for the phone, logs onto Facebook, and calls Mike Perry's mom. Mike Perry's mother, Sabra Young, then proceeds to come and pick up Nickerson, after which Mike Perry sees this and allegedly follows them back to Young's home. Nickerson says that her and Mike Perry's mom realize that Perry has arrived to the house. Nickerson goes and hides in Mike Perry's sister's bedroom underneath the bed as Young goes outside to try and calm Perry down. What we hear next is actually a 911 recording where Perry's mom is talking to a dispatcher, explaining the incident, and it ends with Perry driving off in a fit of rage in his car. I know, hearing the quotes from me isn't as good as checking out the actual interview. I really implore you do. We'll leave a link at the bottom, but let me just tell you what the transcript from the 911 call says. This is, of course, from Sabra Young, Mike Perry's mom. Quote, "I'm out in the driveway and he's violent right now, and I'm scared for my life, and I don't know what he's going to do. He's revving his engine right now. His wife is inside my house, and I'm afraid he's going to hurt her. He said he's not leaving without her, and I said, she's not getting in the car. I went and picked her up from the neighbors, and I brought her back to my house, and then he just showed up. And I tried to talk to him, and I told him he needed to leave and that he needed to go home and sleep, and he said, I'm not leaving. If she doesn't come out here in 5 minutes, I'm going to go home and burn the house down." So what is the end goal for Nickerson in having this conversation? Well, I think she's gone through this traumatic experience and she wants to get the word out there. I'm sure in some ways it's cathartic for her to sort of take what is allegedly a painful and nightmarish experience for her and to turn it into some sort of teaching moment, right? Additionally, Nickerson says, in her own words, quote, "Words are not going to have an impact on his career." Nickerson does not believe that, UFC President Dana White is going to hear Nickerson's words and take some sort of definitive action against Perry, perhaps, terminating his contract. This is what Nickerson hopes comes out of this interview. Quote, "This is not something Dana White will see and be like, he's cut. There's no way. I don't have that sort of impact. This is not for that. This is for helping others. This is for getting the word out there about what you can do to help people in a domestic violence situation and the warning signs and how to not get this deep into something. Hopefully, this will be something that pushes the UFC into doing more checks on their heads and brain damage and really taking care of them physically. them being the fighters. Prior to MMA Junkie publishing this interview, Mike Perry caught wind of it and he released a statement in advance. I'm going to read that for you real quick. Quote, "It's come to my attention that a media organization will be running a story in reference to a past issue with my ex-wife. I would like to address this here and now. First and foremost, I did not put my hands on my ex at any point in our short-term marriage. Secondly, I have already admitted to having an issue with alcohol, and I have been part of an intensive rehab program that was able to help address not only that, but also help me with anger management. After the completion of the course, I have realized that I have said some things in the past that do not put me and what I stand for in the best of light, and for that I apologize. I am now in a loving relationship where I am looking forward and excited to welcome my firstborn. I'm hopeful my ex can move on and find peace as I have." So that is where we are with this story, the facts. Nickerson's side of it, Perry's side of it, prior to actually hearing the interview or reading the transcripts. And so what does this mean? Well, as with everything in MMA, we have seen the absolute gutter trash of the vocal minority of fans sort of speak up and accuse Danielle Nickerson of attention seeking, accuse MMA Junkie of clickbaity headlines, to which I'd say, that is absolute nonsense. Simon Simano of MMA Junkie did a really great job of getting the facts of the story. He got Nickerson's side of it. He requested comment from both Perry's management, first round management, and the UFC, neither of whom responded. It includes references to court documents, photographic evidence, as well as embedded 911 audio. This is about as much evidence-based reporting as you're going to be able to do with the information in front of you, and I commend MMA Junkie for having the balls to release this, and I commend Simon for doing such a great job with the article. And a quick shout out to KO Kid Keith Berry, who accused Danielle of loving the spotlight, that, no one made her date Mike Perry, and that she is a crybaby. Keith Berry, you suck, and you're a piece of trash. Cool. And that is where we're at. That is our story as of right now. And I want to leave you guys with this question. If these allegations are true, if Mike Perry really did these apprehensible, horrific, unforgivable things to Danielle Nickerson, what action should the UFC take? Does the UFC terminate his contract? Let me know what you think. If you want to help our channel out, the best thing you can do, hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, tap the like button. It goes such a long way, and we thank you very much. For Fightful MMA, I'm Shaquille Majuri. Please stay safe.
Fightful.com.
Andrea Lee, I saw you looking thirsty on your last Instagram post.
I'm not sure what that means.
I'm not sure what that means.
I modeled for a pretty calendar once.
Did you
She saw pretty calendar.
God damn it. No, that's not it. No, don't apologize. Don't apologize. You don't need to apologize. Stop. Stop apologizing.
I like Monty, sorry.
Oh, my face is hurting right now. It sucks.
Right,
I'm hurting
so
from laughing.
Sorry, I don't have
A little
COVID.
bit.
I'm gonna get fucking COVID. My wife's gonna leave. I'm not gonna get another job. I'm gonna get fucking COVID.